One of my favorite thought leaders currently is Dr. Joe Dispenza. In one of his talks, he shares this beautiful phrase that the same thoughts always lead to the same choices. The same choices always lead to the same behaviors. The same behaviors create the same experiences, and the same experiences produce the same feelings and the same emotions. And those very same emotions drive your very same thoughts. And it's kind of a cycle, a loop that most people are usually stuck in, where you're constantly recreating circumstances that don't actually serve you over and over again just because you're thinking the same thoughts, you're doing the same things, you're making the same choices over and over again. How is this actually impacting your evolution, your growth, your transformation, your healing journey? More on this in this video, and I'm also going to be sharing beautiful insights on how you can start tapping out of this cycle right now. Hi, my name is Eva. I'm an intuitive healer. I work with two modalities, one which is based on working with Akashic records, which is all about helping you get to or connect to your true soul identity, help you identify your unique abilities, your unique talents that you're supposed to leverage to create your human experience, basically, and basically help you identify the energetic blocks that you've created from the various choices you make day to day that are blocking your access to this beautiful mastery that's already who you are. You just forgot that that's who you are. So it's so relevant. It's really helping you get in touch with that. And the second modality is called quantum flow, which is all about rewiring your nervous system, helping you release deep-seated wounds, deep-seated trauma that you might not even know are still recorded within your body. So when most people start their healing journey, they focus so much on their mind. And yes, eventually you do heal, but you find that the process takes longer because you're not incorporating your body into your healing process. A lot of our wounds, a lot of our memories, a lot of our trauma are actually recorded within our bodies, within our nervous system. And the quantum flow, it's using techniques such as breathwork, sound, and movement to help you break down this memories within your body, release the energy so that you can really tap into a life of flow. But again, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can tap into this two beautiful modalities and work with me one on one in my newly launched spiritual mastery program. So you can check out the end of this video. I'm going to be sharing more on that. I love starting my videos by sharing my lesson for the week and to encourage you that each and every day is always an opportunity for you to reinvent yourself. Each and every moment is always an opportunity for you to reinvent yourself. So at this very moment, you can choose to be a different person that you were in the last day, in the last week, in the last month, it doesn't matter. And I share my weekly lessons because I want to encourage you to really have that growth, that evolution mentality within you and aim to be a little bit better each and every day, and also to encourage you to share your ideas down below, your insights down below, because you never know what beautiful phrase and what beautiful statement you might actually share down below that might highly impact someone else's journey. So do share experiences because you never know how beautiful it could be for someone else who might be going through that same things to tap into your own mastery. My lesson for the week is a beautiful reminder that anytime you're about to transition to, I want to say, a higher vibration or higher state of being, there will always be some form of drama being created in your life. It's usually when just things just stop working and you kind of like, what is going on? You're finding appliances within your home breaking down. You're starting to create drama with the people that you love, the people around you. And just weird stuff just starts happening. And for most people, when this drama starts happening, it usually keeps them or makes them go back to the old version of themselves. They forget that all the work that they've put into becoming the new version of themselves because of this drama that's currently created. So most people assume that the chaos that's being created right now is being generated because there's something you're doing wrong. But in actual sense, in some cases, it's actually proof that something you're doing is actually right, because the chaos is kind of like the last ditch effort. I like calling it like a test to ensure that are you actually ready for this new reality you're calling in. It's also kind of like a form to keep you stuck in that level that you've been so used to. Remember your mind, and I always mention this in all my videos. Your mind always wants to protect you, and its form of protection is making sure that the status quo that you've been used to is basically its comfort level. So anything that you do that taps you out of it is always a threat. So it's gonna create all these weird scenarios, creating drama, getting you to wake up every day and suddenly you don't feel like meditating, you don't feel like putting in the work, you don't feel like going to the gym, you don't feel like eating healthy or anything. Like it's just throwing so many temptations away, and it's kind of like a last ditch effort, kind of like the last kicks of a dying horse. That's how I want you to envision it. The last kicks of a dying horse, because it knows that this reality is about to die for it. It's not sure about what's going to happen in the future. Again, your mind always creates from the past. It's only used to that. That is its comfort zone. So anything that threatens that belief system for it, it's going to fight you tooth and nail on that. So always remember that when you're in the on the verge of a transition to another higher state of being, there's always going to be some form of drama being created. There's always going to be temptation to self-sabotage and procrastinate and all these forms of distractions and drama just to make sure that you go back to who you used to be. So when you have this awareness and you notice the chaos that happening, like weird things, arguments here and there, like it doesn't even make sense. Just have this in mind that I'm in the process to transition to a higher state of being. I just need to hold on. And most importantly, keep doing the work. It's not a signal for you to stop and hold for things to calm down. The minute you stop, you're going to delay your transition to the other state, higher state of being. So don't stop. You keep going until you get to that state, and then all this drama and all this chaos will actually stop. So that was my lesson for the week. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Today, I wanted to talk about how we're constantly creating our recurrent patterns in our lives based on who we've been on the past. And the inspiration behind this is when we watch the news, when you watch social media, and you're seeing these reports of of chaos happening all over the world. And I know I'm not alone. Like, and let me know your thoughts. Like, what is happening in your country? Like, are you seeing like some weird things happening, some weird decisions being made by a leader? Like, it doesn't make sense. And it kind of feels like it's engineered chaos in a sense to keep us in a certain vibrational state of being. Look at the news cycle. Basically, since I could remember, it's always been the same things being reported. Rarely do you ever get to hear positive things being reported unless you're actually looking for that segment. But the mainstream media, most of the media, it's always about things that will just make you feel despair, about war, about terror, about fear, about all these low vibrational emotions. There's a reason why they do this, because they keep us in that state. Because the minute you expose yourself to that kind of narrative, the more you're thinking about it, the more you're talking about it, guess what? We've been creating the same circumstances over and over again. This is why a lot of people actually in this field, the ones I've met anyway, I don't know anyone, always say that they don't watch the news because they're deeply aware of how this platform is usually engineered to keep you in a certain vibrational state. If you don't have that level of mastery where you're able to watch news and remain unaffected by it and not fall into despair or disappointment or any kind of negative emotions that they're trying to evoke in you, my advice would be stay away from it. You don't need to know it in actual sense. And I know that's tough because a lot of us have this mindset like, I need to know what's happening in my country. But in actual sense, you really don't need to know because it doesn't, in most cases, it doesn't affect your direct current reality. If you are being truly honest with yourself, sometimes it does, but not all the time. And the things that you need to know, if you really need to know it, trust me, the news will always find themselves to you. You don't have to watch for 1 hour, 2 hours scrolling on social media and watching all this chaos happen for you to get the news. You could get a mention here and be like, oh, yeah, okay, so fine. That is what is happening in my country, because then you need to know. Beautiful mindset you can go to in this world. But the reason why I want to highlight mainstream news as this is because we've been perpetuating the same reality over and over again, because so many of us have been stuck looking at that and thinking about that. And remember, as Joe Dispenza says, that your thoughts always lead to the same choices, lead to the same behaviors. And we've been in that cycle again. So as long as we're not thinking about something else and how better it could be, guess what? We're creating that same past over and over again. And how does this even tie to your own life? Joe Dispenza, I remember in one of his talks, he shared that when you wake up in the morning, what's usually the thing that most people do? You're gonna reach for your phone and check what news did I miss, what and all of that. But guess what? By just doing that, you're getting yourself tapped into all the vibrational states of being. Everything you're watching in the news is something that has already happened. It doesn't define now, it doesn't have to define the future unless you're putting all your focus and all your attention on that. Remember, energy always goes where your attention is. That what you focus on keeps on persisting. So if you're focused on all the negativity that's happening, guess what? You're constantly creating that again and again and again. So you have to be really mindful. What are you paying attention to? What are you thinking about? What are your day to day choices? What are your day to day behaviors that are supporting an older vibration that no longer serves your highest state of being? And a lot of us want our lives to change, but your life is never going to change if you're still doing the same thing, if you're still thinking the same way, if you're still making the same choices. So back to that analogy of you wake up in the morning, the first thing is that you're scrolling on your phone to see what did I miss, what new notifications did I have. Boom, you're already pulled back into that old vibration of who you were yesterday, who you do not actually have to be today. And he shares a beautiful, beautiful practice that you can do in the morning, which is one of the insights and tips that I can give you today. When you wake up in the morning, before you even reach for that phone, really spend time creating or visualizing or intentioning the kind of day that you want to have ahead. So just because yesterday your boss was yelling at you and just making your life miserable does not mean it has to happen today. But because you wake up in the morning and you still have that emotional trigger of what happened yesterday, you create the same scenario again today. So how about instead of assuming that this is how the day is going to go because your boss is just on another level, how about you just spend 5 minutes just visualizing the ideal reality you'd want for yourself? Picturing your boss actually being nice to you, picturing a smooth transition from your home to your job, picturing that you're going to have everything. You're going to have the best day ever. You're going to meet the most amazing clients. You're going to have the best experiences. You're going to have the best conversations. You're no longer having to wait in line for anything. Like things will just happen to you through synchronicity. You'll be at the right place at the right time every single moment. Spend 5 to 10 minutes daily before you even reach for the phone, before you even start thinking about what happened yesterday and how annoying that client was. Before all of that, spend that time just creating that ideal reality, thinking new thoughts. And once you start thinking in this way, again, it impacts your choices. So now when you're going out into the day, you're I don't want to say expecting because expectation is also a form of how we create suffering. When you expect something to go this way and then it doesn't, and then you think, oh my Lord, the universe is against me. No, because in actual sense, whatever is happening will actually serve your greatest good. Maybe not in the now, but maybe in the future that you don't have ability to perceive right now. Okay. But I want you to go throughout your day with the choices that you're making. Let it be in alignment to this reality that you've created in your mind. Let your behaviors impact this. So you're no longer looking for that chaos. You're being that peace. You're bringing that peace to your environment. And do this practice for a couple of days, then come back and report because I kid you not, something is bound to shift. Because the minute you start shifting your reality from the inside out, not from the outside in, because you can't make your boss or your client act a certain way. You can only change yourself and their behavior changes because they have to always match the vibration you're putting out. So the minute you start tapping into this new reality and living, making choices, ensuring everything is in alignment to this, and it's not easy, so do not forget that because most people just think like the mean like I did it today, so everything is just gonna materialize. No, remember for us to create, especially in the 3D world, it takes a lot of effort. How long? I don't know, because that's different from a lot of us based on our belief system, our programs, our internal patterns. A lot of things actually impact how we manifest things into our current reality. So, how long it takes, I don't know. But if you intention to do that each and every day, something is gonna start shifting, and it's usually for the better because you're changing. Now, maybe today you won't find the clients who don't yell at you, but a week from now, if you intention to do this daily and you intention to stay in this vibration, a week from now, you'll notice you're starting to attract clients who are a little bit nicer. All of a sudden, your boss is not even paying attention to you. They're distracted by other things, rarely coming into your field. Like you'll start noticing more peace coming into your existence because you're becoming that peace within yourself. You're creating that ideal reality for yourself. And this goes for all areas of your life, not just your work, your relationships, your finances, and all of that. Instead of thinking that, oh, now I'm looking at my bank account, the bank account was $100 yesterday, probably it's going to be $100 today. Literally, manifestation requires you to be delusional at some point, that you have to really immerse yourself in that reality where instead of you looking at $100, you're looking at $10,000 in your account. Yes, it might seem impossible because obviously, when you do that, your mind again, which creates from the past, will always say, yeah, right. $10,000, really? When have you ever had that kind of money? Like, because remember, your mind will have evidence of that. That's never happened for you. So how dare you think of that? But that's not what it means calling a new reality to existence. It's you creating something completely different for yourself, something that's never happened for you before. So just because it seems impossible now does not make it possible. Like it will never make materialize in the physical reality. So what I'm saying is that sometimes it might require you to be delusional for a bit. Again, the period of time it takes, it differs from person to person. So I can tell you that you do this and then the next one, boom, magic is gonna happen. For some people, even that tiny little shift can literally create results instantly. But for some people, it might take a couple of weeks, might take a couple of days, a couple of months, but you keep at it because trust me, a lot is shifting, even if you don't know, even if you don't see it. But you'll start to notice eventually that all of a sudden, the people who used to disturb your peace of being, your mental state, your emotional state, they're no longer here because you started thinking different thoughts. You started choosing different choices. You started acting differently. And all of this now helped you tap out of that repetitive cycle that you've been stuck in for a very long time, where nothing seems to be getting you out of this rut. It's you wake up the same way, you drink the same thing, you eat this. Like try do something different to tap out of that state of being. Take a different route to work. You never know. I know I had that in a podcast, like because you never know what new experiences you can fall in. But aim to do something new. This is why I always encourage the whole thing about learning something new. Every day if possible, if not every week, if not every day, learn something new because it's shifting you to a new reality that in your mind was never a possibility. That's how I want you to think about it. Okay. So again, so that's how you can start creating your new reality. Okay. So envisioning or ensuring that you're not thinking the same thoughts always. And the next thing is that even when you see something you don't like, a beautiful, beautiful thing you can repeat for yourself is, I'm just looking at a past version of myself. And this is literally what I started doing with any kind of negative news that I see, that I'm just looking at the past. It does not define the now moment. Remember, you're always creating everything from the present moment, always. So I don't care what happened last minute, last second, or whatever. You're creating everything from the now moment, and a lot can shift with just a blink of an eye. And you really have to believe in miracles. That's what I want to say. You gotta make space for miracles to happen in your life. And they do happen. And most of the times, and I love to know your experience on this. Is there something that has ever happened in your life where you go like, how did this much like I never even thought that this kind of maybe career was even possible for me. Something that probably you had prayed for years and years, maybe some of us even from when we were children or something. And then you find yourself in that reality and you say, how did that happen? Make space for miracles. And I'm just talking about that, but even instant miracles. Most people forget that that actually happens. You could be here this one moment, and then the next moment, boom. A lot have shifted. I know for me, I can share so many stories on my end, especially when I was transitioning from my previous career to what I'm doing right now. It felt like for such a long time I had been searching for that thing that would really light me up. And then when it happened, it felt like everything just happened in a blink of an eye. Even though I had been working on this for like 8 years or something just to find my passion. But when that moment was just boom, things shifted with literally in a space of 2 weeks. So always make space for miracles. You never know what that one thing, what that one shift in your mindset can actually change for your entire reality. And I've seen this happen over and over again. So many things that we talk around with the people around me, like, this will never happen. And then you wake up and like, holy crap, it actually happened. And you don't know how that happened. That's a miracle. It's just that we don't call it miracle nowadays. I don't know why. But it is a miracle because you have no idea how it happened. It wasn't by any of your effort. It wasn't by anything that you did. So again, remember this, the only reality that you have control over is your own experience. You don't have ability to impact on any other person's free will or experience. Yes, you can intention it for them. Yes, you can pray for them. But at the end of the day, it's their experience. It's what they're here to learn. It's their journey. And you always have to remember that. So even when someone is making choices that just don't make sense to you, those are their choices. But you can certainly change yourself and change your experience of those choices, if at all they actually impact your current experience. So you can only change yourself. And then that shifts everything that you encounter, the experiences, and everything else. Okay. So again, so when you're watching those negative news or whatever, I want you to just keep it in mind. I'm only observing the past doesn't define my now, it doesn't define the future. So I don't care what kind of decisions you've just seen a leader had do right now. And literally, even if you look at the political scene, for example, one day these people are enemies. The next day, buddy, hugging, all of that. The next day, and like things are always shifting like this. Like if you're not truly discerning and you're easily getting swayed back and forth about this versus that, you could easily get lost in the games that they play. But even in that, you never know what's happening in the background. So just because someone is saying this today, again, make space for miracles. Tomorrow it could be something different. You literally you don't know what you don't know. And this is the mindset I go with in the world, not just for the news but also in my current reality. If I'm seeing something that I don't like, an experience that maybe I might have attracted that not the best experience, I always remind myself this is just the past I'm looking at, doesn't define my now, doesn't have to define my future. So use this powerful mindset to navigate all the negative experiences that you have. And literally, those are my tips for you today. I don't have anything else for you. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know how it impacts you once you start tapping into this and trying things differently going forward. And let's see what are you able to actually break free from the current rut, current cycle that you've been stuck in that doesn't light your highest being, doesn't light you up? If you really want to tap into a reality that you wake up every day and you're filled with so much joy, so much bliss, which is completely possible regardless of what's happening around you, that state of being is actually possible. You have the power to make that happen for yourself. That's all for me. Share your thoughts down below. And I did promise I was going to share at the end of this video my beautiful launch program, spiritual mastery program, where I'm going to be working with you one-on-one. First week, we're going to be doing soul alignment. And then the next 5 weeks is to really help you integrate the energetic healing that you'll receive from the Akashic record, the soul alignment, into your physical being. It's a really powerful 6 week one-on-one session with me. And of course, you're gonna get access to me, email, WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever works for you. We're gonna be working hand in hand in case something comes up for you. Let me share my screen for a bit just to tell you who this program is a great fit for. So if you happen to feel stuck in the same repetitive cycle that we're talking in, by the way, some of these cycles that we find ourselves in finances, relationship, or health, that you're trying everything you can, but you keep finding yourself back where you started from, there's usually a powerful root cause behind all of that. And sometimes it has nothing to do with your current reality, but has to do with choices that you made in a previous past life of yours. So if you want to know what those choices are that are creating your current circumstances, this program will be a great fit for you. So again, if you're struggling with self-identity, you're feeling disconnected from basically who you actually are and even your true purpose. If you're experiencing constant roadblocks and challenges that seem to have no clear cause or solution to it, this program will be a great fit for you. And so much more. Experiencing low energy, feeling trapped by limiting beliefs. You have a deep desire for emotional healing and freedom from the burdens of the past. A really great fit for you. And the next thing is that with quantum flow, so all these things that I've listed on the screen above, that is what you're going to be addressing with soul realignment. With quantum flow, which will now form the 5 weeks of the journey with you, I'm going to be giving you powerful practices, breath of sound and movement, remember, that will help you deal with all of this. If you're experiencing mental fog, difficulty concentrating, having that impact your productivity, you're struggling with anxiety and stress, and everything just seems so overwhelming and unmanageable. If you're feeling physically and emotionally drained, difficulty controlling your emotions, struggling with unresolved trauma, and so much more, this program will be a great fit for you. And hey, maybe you might be watching this and thinking like, but is it going to be a great fit for me, like with what I'm currently going through? I'm going to invite you to book a discovery call with me and let's see if this program will be a great fit for you or not. So it's a 15 to 30-minute call between you and me. You're going to be sharing your experiences and then we'll determine if soul realignment and quantum flow can be a great fit for you. If it is, well and good. I hope to see you as one of my clients. And if it's not, of course, I'll just be sending you love and blessings. You don't have to commit to working with me if it's not a great fit for you. So again, if you want to truly experience true clarity and confidence to live in alignment with who you truly are, really awaken your full potential, this program will be the greatest thing that you can do for yourself in 2025. So scan the QR code on the screen or check out the link in the description box down below. And that's it for me. Make sure you subscribe, like my video, share this video, really support the channel and let me know what kind of topics would you love to hear from me going forward. You share in the comment section down below and I will do my best to get back to you with my insights and my wisdom on whatever conversation you want us to have in the next video. Thank you and see you next time. Love and bless.